Today, I will be demonstrating how we can make weather instruments at home. Weather instruments are tools or devices used by meteorologists to measure weather. Now, a meteorologist is an expert in the study of weather forecasts. So weather is the state of the atmosphere at a particular place and time as it regards to heat, cloudiness, dryness, sunshine, wind, and rain. Now I will be focusing on two weather instruments. The first one is the anemometer, and secondly, the rain gauge. An anemometer is a weather instrument used to measure wind speed and wind pressure. It can be used to measure any other type of gas, not just wind. Anemometers can be very different and they vary in appearance. But the main thing is that they all have a feature that is designed to move when it is windy to calculate the wind speed. So, for our materials, we will need 2 straws, a pin, 4 or 5 plastic cups, and a pencil with an eraser. So here you can see me assembling the materials to construct the anemometer, and I start by boring 4 holes just below the lid of the cup, and I put the 2 straws through crossways. I put 2 horizontal holes on each cup and I align them with the straws anti-clockwise. This will help with the rotation of the device. Now I take the pencil through a hole in the bottom of the cup and stabilize the straws with a pin into the eraser of the pencil. As you can see, this helps with its spinning. How this works is when the wind blows on a real anemometer, there is something that records the speed of wind that tells us just how fast the wind is going. On this apparatus, we may not be able to calculate the amount of wind, but we know that if there's a little wind, it's going to spin. If there's a lot, the speed of the rotating cups will pick up. And because of the direction of the cups, when the wind goes in, it passes over and it goes through, and that is how it spins. So we can use this anemometer in our everyday lives to see just how much the breeze is blowing, as we say, just how heavy the breeze is. So we can put this outside in our class, and we're gonna put this outside of our house even, and we're gonna measure the speed of wind. So when the wind blows, it spins the anemometer around. The anemometer counts the number of rotations in a given amount of time, which is then used to calculate the speed of the wind. The faster the wind, the more rotations there will be. And so we can put this outside on a windy day to see just how many times it goes around, and if we lose count, then we can assume that it's just a pretty windy day. This is our first instrument, and this is our anemometer. The next instrument we'll be looking at is our rain gauge. So the first thing we have here is a bottle, a regular water bottle, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut it right here to make the top part a funnel and the rest of it a container. Now we've cut the bottle and we have 2 pieces. This would go into the cylinder like so and act as a funnel to collect the water. Now, we're also going to take this ruler and marker to measure basically the length, and we want to mark every 1/4 inch. Right, so we have 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches, 3.5 inches, 4 inches, 4.5 inches. All right. So here we have our inches every 1/4 inch, right? If you can see it there. And we want to fill this up just to where it says an inch. Good. So we fill the bottom with water up to where an inch is marked, and this will act as our base. So we can tell. So if we're going to put this in here, our funnel, and on a rainy day, we are going to put this outside. All right? And we're going to measure how much inches of rainfall we have. So if we put this outside and then we go back after the rain has stopped and we see that it's just at 3.5 inches, then we can say, well, okay, today, July 10th, July 11th, 12th, 13th, whatever day it is, there was 3.5 inches of rainfall. So meteorologists use the rain gauge to measure how much rain falls within a specific time frame, between a specific period of time. And so the rain gauge records and calculates how many inches of rain fell for that day, and it also measures atmospheres that go to freezing point. So it's a simple device, it's a simple tool that is used to measure rain. And how can we use our anemometer and rain gauge just normally in our everyday lives? We know right now it is a very rainy season, and so if we want to know how much the rain is falling or how much the rain fell, we can always make a rain gauge and put it outside. We can see how much rain had fallen. And so in your own little time, when you're at home, you can ask your mom, you can ask your dad for a few cups, for a water bottle that you don't use, and you can make your own weather instruments, and you can record the weather. You take a little exercise book and you write the date, today's date, and then you can say you use the rain gauge to measure rain, and you had 2 inches of rainfall between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Or you can make your anemometer and you can measure how many times it rotates. And you can say, okay, we had X amount of wind speed today, or any other weather instrument that you want to make, and you can use it to measure the weather and keep track of the weather patterns that we are experiencing.